Welcome to the power of questions. In this little show, I am going to introduce you to the power of questions. Whenever you feel a little bit less good or maybe even bad, you definitely have asked the wrong question. Because there are two kinds of questions. The weakening question, these power-sucking questions, draining your energy, and then there are the powerful questions. The powerful questions which increase the level of your energy, which helps you to solve things, which makes you successful and more happy. These powerful questions, these are the ones we are talking about in this course mostly. Sometimes we need to address the weakening questions just to make sure you stay away from these power suckers you don't need in your life. And I'll show you later how you can just substitute each of these weakening questions with a powerful question which makes you be more energized, which gives you the level of success you want to have. And then again, it makes you more happy. You have a happier life. So welcome to the show. My name is JT and I'm an executive coach and a master storyteller. So I teach successful stories in sales. And doing all my training and doing executive coaching, I very often have observed that powerful questions are the beginning of success. When I coach executives in the last 20 years, I was watching how do they approach their job and what is the reason why they are so successful. And it all comes down to questions. How do you know how to steer your company? In what direction? Let's assume you are the CEO of a company with 500 or 5,000 or 50,000 employees. It doesn't matter. You need to ask questions to understand what the company is doing, where it is heading to, and what are the next steps you need to do to achieve your goals. So the difference between successful people, successful CEOs, and not so successful is always the quality of questions they ask. If they ask the right questions, they get answers. If they ask high quality questions, they get high quality answers. High quality answers leads to success. Low quality answer based on low quality questions doesn't give you the success. It simply doesn't. So having observed this in the last 20-25 years, I was thinking about myself and you. Why wouldn't you want to make better decisions? Because you are a CEO. You are the CEO of your own life. You're the chief executive officer of your own life. Your decision determines your fate, determines your happiness, your success. So if a CEO of a Fortune 500 company can move successful if he asks high quality questions, so can you and so can I. So I was thinking about that the last 20-25 years, and I was wondering what is the difference between high quality questions, powerful questions, and other questions. And this is what this course is all about. We will touch this low quality question, this sucker questions, the ones which are training your energy level down. But also we will talk mostly about the powerful questions. And before we do so, let me tell you a little story how questions can change the course of your whole life. What would you have done if your professor had given you a D on your paper? You were talking about the parcel delivering system in the United States. But because there was already a existing infrastructure for parcel delivering, namely United States Postal Office, you get a D for your paper. Nonetheless, this guy I'm talking about, Fred Smith, started his own business, a parcel delivery business. This business, a multi-billion-dollar business today, and you know it very well, would not have been there if Fred Smith wouldn't have asked weakening questions. He never did. He started with the right attitude and he started asking powerful questions. On day one, when he started operations, he was at his hub in Tennessee and he was looking at the parcels, and he had started operation, moved two parcels. And these two parcels, one of them it's himself and the other one, a friend of him, has been shipped perfectly according to what the plan was. But it was only two, and he had a huge amount of money invested in his operations. So a weakening question would kill him and his operation and the idea. But he never asked it a weakening question. He asked only himself a good question, a powerful question. According to sources, Fred Smith said when he saw the two packages delivered perfectly, exchanged in the hub, he said, "Great, this is awesome, it works. The question now is, how can we increase the number of packages?" I mean, this is a powerful question. This is a future-oriented, empowering question which focuses on what to do next. He did not ask, oh my God, how can I finance the whole operation if I only have two packages, two parcels to deliver? No, he did not. He said, great, this is working. It's according the plan. Everything is fine. The only questions we need to answer now is, how do we get more parcels to ship across the United States? And as you know, Federal Express, as it was named and still is one of the biggest companies in the world. And despite the fact that the United States Parcel Office is there too, it doesn't matter. FedEx is a big major player in the world. Now, think about this question. How do we increase the number of packages? Instead of, oh my God, I only have two packages. How can I survive? Why don't people send me more packages? There is a lot of questions, a lot of disempowering questions, which you don't want to ask. And Fred did the right thing. He built a billion-dollar company, a multi-billion-dollar company based on this one question. How do we increase the number of packages? So think about that. How can you increase the level of success and happiness in your life if you ask the right powerful question? Welcome back to the power of questions. There is a Chinese proverb, very old but very, very true. He who asks a question will be a fool for 5 minutes, but he who does not ask a question will stay a fool for his life. So questions are so important. And if you get up in the morning, you do ask yourself a question. There's nothing you can do against it. You ask the question, should I get up or shouldn't I? What should I do? What do I do today? A lot of questions pop up in your mind the moment you gain consciousness. These early questions in the morning determine how your day goes. And then your day goes on and on and on, and you ask yourself questions and questions and questions. And if you choose the right questions, you feel happy, you get along, and you be happy. If you choose the wrong questions, if you choose the weakening questions, the power training questions, you will not stay happy. If you get up in the morning and the very first thing you think is like, why in the world did I drink too much last night? Again, you're in deep trouble, my friend. You're in deep trouble. If you get up in the morning and say, wow, what can I do today to make myself getting a step ahead? What can I make today to get myself more happy, to help others? What is it I can do right now to get myself into a better place? It is the questions which determine about our happiness. It's the questions which makes us move in one or the other direction. And it's the questions which determine what we are focusing on. And if we are focusing on something good, then something good is going to happen. If we're focusing on something not that good, that's going to happen too. So depending on what you're focusing on, things happen. But focusing on is just a consequence from the question you ask yourself. So if you focus on something negative, that probably means that you have had asked yourself the question, why me again? But if you focus on something positive, like what can I learn out of this situation, then it was the right, powerful question. So be very careful with questions. If you question yourself, if you question what you did, and if you focus in the past, this will then result in a bad result. So ask yourself a question, how can I use this? And this will be focusing on how can I use this? As a result, you find a solution. Finding a solution means you be happy, you move a step ahead. So this is the whole secret about empowering and disempowering questions. If you feel not good, ask yourself a better question. If you feel shabby or depressed or whatever it is, ask yourself a better question. If you're already in a good place, but if you want to move ahead more, if you want to step up, ask yourself a higher quality question. It's all about question. Questions determine our focus. If I ask myself, what can I do to improve the situation? I ask myself a quality question, and I'm focusing on finding the thing which makes me improve my situation. If I am in self-pity and ask myself, why me? Then that is not a very high quality question, and it results in me focusing on all the pain of the world. So whenever you want to be in a powerful, excited state, ask yourself a great question before. What can I do now? How can I make myself happy right now? What can I learn out of this? This is the power of questions. A lot of great business, in my opinion, all great businesses are based on great questions. Great questions asked by the entrepreneur or his employees or his partners. It's always a great question in the beginning of a great company, of a great product, of a great system. There was this gentleman, Walt Disney. He did ask himself also a huge, great question. He was standing in California and was overlooking the orange fields. And he was thinking, what do I need to do to attract a lot of people coming to visit California? And he knew it's not having always orange plants. So he was thinking about, what can I do to make people want to come over to California? And there it was born, the idea of Disneyland in Anaheim, California. If he wouldn't have asked himself this question, there wouldn't be any Disney World or Disneyland. So ask yourself a good question, ask yourself a powerful question. What do I need to do? How can I improve the situation? What would be the next step? In what direction can I go now? What are my options? And how can I make people do this or people do that? These are powerful questions because they focus yourself onto a solution and away from the problem. So you always want to focus on the solution. You always want to make sure you are focusing in the right direction. And this only is possible with a powerful question. And later on we talk about the dynamics of powerful question and the draining dynamics, the downsource of not so powerful questions. So for now, think about powerful questions. How can I use this to improve my situation? And here's my assignment to you. Before you step up to the next section of this course, please sit down and write down the typical question you ask yourself. And it may be very difficult because these questions sometimes are hiding in our subconscious, but try to find them. Try to write them down. What are the questions you ask yourself day by day by day? And you will be surprised. There are a lot of questions which you don't need, which maybe are disempowering yourself. So here's a little hint. Check the question for the question word why. So please go ahead and do the assignment. Write down all the questions you have in average, if every day, every week, every once in a while, everything you can think about it. Write it down And then after that, let's continue with the next section of this course. Thank you and have fun doing that.